Hello all my dear students. I hope you all are doing good. I am your mentor Amit Ajmani and I welcome you all to Sri Jendra Rank Zone classes. Now students, in the previous session we completed the topic note making, in which we studied all about note making, how to make notes. We studied the format. In the format, first of all we'll be writing the heading. We studied what exactly and how exactly we need to write the heading, what all are the things we need to take care of while writing the headings. Then we studied about how to write the subheadings and the sub points. What are the various things that needed to be considered while writing the sub points and the sub points. Then we studied about the abbreviations, acronyms, and how to make abbreviations and what are the various common acronyms. Then we studied about the summary part and the various things we need to remember while writing the summary. So all the basic details, all the intricate details regarding note making we have already studied in the previous two lectures, and in this lecture we'll be studying about how to make utilization of all the details that you have understood till now. So we'll be taking the examples of note making in this class. Now there are different ways note making can be asked in question. The first type is read the following passages and make suitable notes. So in the type 1, what we are required to do is we just have to make notes. Nothing more than that. No summary is being asked. So let us start up with a small passage which is easy to understand, just in order to get the basic idea how we are going to make notes. This is a very small passage given to us which normally will not come in your exams because such small passages will not come. This is just an idea how to make notes. Let us read the passage. Let us try to relate the important points. Then we will see how the notes are made and how we are going to represent it. So the passage says most twins are fraternal, which means they developed from two separate eggs which were fertilized at the same time. So we are being told about twins that they are fraternal. That means they are developing from two separate eggs fertilized at the same time. Clear? Side by side, we need to relate what is information important and what is not much important. Studying further, such twins are no more similar in physical characteristics than are any other brothers or sisters. So fraternal twins are not much similar in physical characteristics. About one third of twins are identical, which means they developed from a single fertilized egg. So the identical twins are those which develop from single fertilized egg and usually share a common placenta. Unlike fraternal twins, their genetic makeup is identical. So they have very similar physical characteristics and are always the same sex. So the whole passage is dealing about two type of twins. One are fraternal, who develop from two separate eggs, and that is why they do not have much in common as far as their physical characteristics are concerned. Second, the identical twins. They develop from a single fertilized egg. They share a common placenta. Their genetic makeup is identical, and that is why they have same physical characteristics and usually the same sex. Now let us see how exactly we are going to make notes. The heading that we are going to give is twins, quite simple. The subheadings are the main two types of twins that are being discussed in this passage. One are fraternal twins and another are identical twins. Right? We are going to represent it with Roman numerals. Now talking about the fraternal twins, the information that is given to us in the passage is that these fraternal twins, they develop from two separate eggs, and the fertilization of eggs happens at the same time, and these fraternal twins are not similar in physical characteristics. Two things to remember: one is ABC and the indenting. Second is where all we have used the abbreviations develop, fertilization, physical, and characteristics. These are the four simple abbreviations that we have used. Clear? In this, we can also relate the various ways of making the abbreviations that we learned in the previous lecture. Develop has been written by removing all the vowels. Fine. The actual spelling was develop, and what we did was removing E, removing E, removing O. For making the abbreviation of fertilization, how we have made it? We have taken a few words, alphabets of the beginning, and with apostrophe we have taken the last alphabet. In physical, we have taken only three initial alphabets from the beginning, and in characteristics, again we have omitted all the vowels. You see, all the rules which we learnt for making the abbreviations we have used here. Now the second subheading is the identical twins. What is the information given regarding these identical twins? They develop from one egg, they share a common placenta, and they are similar in physical characteristics. Again, note the usage of the Roman numeral 2 and ABC. Of course, the indenting part and the usage of abbreviations, again the same way. Now because we have used develop above, we should have used develop here also in the abbreviated form so that it is consistent. So you need to add this thing, that use the abbreviation for develop as it is used above. For making this common, we have taken the initial alphabets. Physical and characteristics we have already seen in the first subheading. So this is simple note making. Now after making notes, of course we need to write the key, that is the key to abbreviations: develop, fertilization, physical, characteristic. One more we have used common which is not written here. You need to write it down because you cannot leave it. Fine. These are all the examples from your book only, but we need to make sure that even though there is some error in the book, we have to rectify. So we will use this common also here. We need to write the fifth point, that is common. This is a simple note making. Let us see another example of a simple note making in which we are required to make notes of a passage. No summary is required. Remember, this is the type 1 questions that we are attempting right now. It may sound too fantastic to be true, but if you are lucky enough to go to the Sahara Desert one day, then you too will be able to see thousands of engraved decorated rocks. So, Sahara Desert, first important thing, thousands of engraved decorated rocks are present there. Second important thing, on these rocks there are scenes of animals, of agriculture, of sheep herding and hunting. There are ceremonies and dances and chariots drawn by galloping horses, all pictured on the rocks as if they were part of an illustrated book, a wonderful stone book which conjures up images and journeys of incredible journeys. And if we could make a voyage to the dawn time, we would find that the Sahara was not then the desert we know now, but a green and fertile region instead. So in the past, Sahara was not a desert. Many rivers flowed down, and the vegetation was Mediterranean style. So the vegetation is of Mediterranean style. This is important, including of pine trees, holm oaks, cedars, lime trees, and ash trees. Now, reading this particular passage, the simple thing that comes to our mind is, what is the passage all about? This passage is about Sahara Desert, so this becomes our heading or the main title. Clear? Now, this is a travelogue kind of thing. So, importantly, the subheading is, what can you see? Question mark. You can see there engraved rocks, scenes of animals hunting, agriculture, pics of dances, ceremonies, and chariots with horses. Second subheading is, what was Sahara like in initial days? It was green and fertile, luxurious Mediterranean kind of vegetation, rivers flowing down. This was Sahara in initial days. Make use of the format, the indenting, and the abbreviations. In abbreviations, we have got engraved, we have got pictures, agriculture. We could have used ceremonies also, but we haven't. When we are doing it, we can use it. Mediterranean, vegetation. So all these which are used in the abbreviated form, we have to write in the key. Engraved, agriculture, pictures, Mediterranean, and vegetation, that we have normally abbreviated. How? You can relate the rules. Once again, all we have read in the previous class. In engraved, we have used the first few alphabets and apostrophe last alphabet. In agriculture, we have just used the few alphabets in the beginning. Same in the case of pictures. In Mediterranean, we have omitted all the vowels, and in vegetation also initial few alphabets. Clear? So this is a very simple note making related to type 1 questions. Now let us come to the type 2 questions. What exactly you will encounter in these type of questions? Read the following notes and summarize using as few words as possible. Now in these questions, you are not actually required to make notes. Notes are already given to you. What you need to do is, you need to summarize only. Now, whenever these type 2 questions are given to you, always and always make sure that before reading the notes, you come to the bottom and go through the key first. In order to understand the notes, you read the key first, because here you will find all those abbreviations which have been used in the notes above. So if you already know the abbreviated words, then it will be better to understand the notes. Right now we don't know any idea about what the notes are all about, what the passage was all about, but in such type 2 questions where the notes are already given, always go through the key first. For example, SND has been used for sound, EXT has been used for external, INC dot has been used for increases, ELEC is for electrical, AC is for auditory canal, ERDRM, ER that is for eardrum, and BRN is for brain. Now this is very important. Why? Because normally if without looking at this key we are reading the notes, especially this part AC, is it the air conditioner or is it the alternating current or what is it? Just by reading AC without having any kind of information about the passage, nobody can just make even in his dreams that it AC will be referring to auditory canal. This is the advantage of reading the key first. Now after reading the key, we'll come to our notes. The heading or the title says the functioning of the ear. SND. You have just read the key ones, but now you know SND is sound. Sound travels as waves. External ear gathers the waves. Waves are led to AC, auditory canal, and auditory canal increases the loudness and moves waves to eardrum. Then parts of the eardrum, three tiny bones are there: hammer, anvil, and stirrup. Next is change weak sound waves into powerful ones. This is probably the function of these tiny bones. Next is eardrum passes the waves to cochlea. Waves reach the corti. Now what exactly is corti? It is not specified here. Maybe they have omitted because of any misprinting. What exactly is corti we don't know. Right, so we have to use it as it is. Hair-like receptors convert sound waves to electrical impulses, pass to the BRN's brain. Brain allows us to hear the sound. So now these are the notes. We already know all the abbreviated words. Again, related. This is the passage regarding the functioning of the ear. We are being told that first of all, sound travels as waves. External ear gathers these sound waves and these are led to the auditory canal, which increases the loudness and moves waves to eardrum. Eardrum has three tiny bones: hammer, anvil, and stirrup, which change the weak sound waves into powerful ones. Then this eardrum passes the waves to cochlea, from where the waves reach the corti, and hair-like receptors convert the sound waves to electrical impulses and pass them to the brain, which allows us to hear the sound. This is exactly what the passage is conveying, and we are going to use these notes in order to write the summary. When we discussed the main points in summary, first and very important thing was we cannot leave any point given in the notes while writing summary. Second important thing, we cannot use abbreviated forms in the summary. So keeping these two important points in mind, let us try to relate the summary part. Sound travels in the forms of waves which the external ear gather, passing through the auditory canal, which increases the loudness. These waves move to the eardrum. The different parts of the eardrums, hammer, anvil, and stirrup, change the weak sound waves into powerful ones. Finally, the waves pass through the cochlea to the corti. See, we have used this word corti as it is. It's not an abbreviated form, where they get converted to electrical impulses and reach the brain, which then allows us to hear the sound. This is how we will write the summary. We have not left any point. We have not used any phrase. We have used all complete sentences. We have not used any abbreviated form here. So this is the summary of the notes given to us. Please make sure that you relate both the things again while you are self-studying, and try to do it in the opposite way now. When you will be studying at home, first read the summary and then go through the notes and see whether we have covered each and every point in the summary or not. Let us take one more example. The importance of strategic planning. Now once again, before going through the notes, always and always come to the key points. The key points are: B/W is for between, quite common. In for individual, ACC is representing according, DV is to develop, ENV is investment, RSLTS are the results, SP stands for strategic planning, MAX is maximize, ORG is organizations. Now after going through this key, let us come to the notes now. SP, strategic planning, entails plan of action, tool for large organizations and nations, tool for individuals. Importance of strategic planning for people: it helps balancing between passivity and trying to live accordingly. Antithesis to simply drifting: smartness to embrace opportunities. Next is importance of strategic planning in business. This was the importance for people. This is now in business. Provides knowledge about employees. Next is it maximizes short or long term investments. This is not maximum, this is maximizes. Now what are the fundamental steps in strategic planning? Creating a plan, keeping track of results, altering course based on results. And how can we plan for complexities in life? Pick area of life which is most challenged, start planning for it. When that area is stabilized, develop plan for another aspect. Learn to develop skills in making trade-offs between various aspects of life. So now, after reading the notes, once again get back to the notes, and with the help of the subheadings, please try to relate once again what is the detail provided. This strategic planning entails all these things. The importance of strategic planning for people is this. The importance of strategic planning for business is this. Next, what are the fundamental steps in strategic planning? These are the fundamental steps. And how can we plan for the complexities in life? So after going through it, now we have the basic idea of the passage. Now let us write the summary. Just try to relate. Strategic planning refers to a plan of action. It is an important tool used by large organizations, industries, nations, and individuals. It is important. Now this is the first point. Second, importance for people as well as for businesses. It is important because all the points. Number one, it provides a balance between passivity and living according to plan, and it leads to smartness in embracing opportunities. Planning is important in business because you need to know the individual and you need to maximize short-term and long-term investments. This is all the importance. Then the fundamental steps were there. Will include that. The fundamental activities in planning include creating a plan, comma, keeping track of result, and altering course based on result. As it is, we have taken these 3 points. Last point, last subheading was how to plan for complexities. So for complexities, we have used our own vocabulary. Complexities is complicated life. So one can plan for complexities or for a complicated life by picking up an area of life that is most challenged and starting to plan for specific areas. One area, when it is stabilized, start on the other. So from here to here we have taken the first point of the note making. From here second point starts till this particular part. It is for the business, sorry, for people. From here the importance of planning for the businesses. Then this was the fourth part, the fundamental steps, and it was till here. And from one can to the last, it was the fifth point that we elaborated. Simple. So these are the type 2 questions that we may encounter in exam, that the notes will be provided to us. We are just asked to write the summary, and this is the most simple form, rather the simplest way of asking questions from note making, which if you get is a bonus for you. Now let us come to the actual question which normally comes in our exams, that is type 3, or we can say the full-fledged questions. What are these? Read the following passages carefully and make notes on it using headings, subheadings, etc. From a particular passage we are required to make notes. Use recognizable abbreviations, so we have to write the key also. Use a format you consider suitable, and supply an appropriate title, and also write a summary. So now out of the given passage we need to write the title, then we need to make the notes, we need to use the abbreviations, we will write the key to abbreviations, and we will supply with the summary also. This is the question which you are normally acquainted with. This is the question which is the full-fledged question that is usually asked. And these passages are normally big passages. They are not small passages. So while we are reading these passages, what you should do is try to relate what all are the important information and try to circle the highlighting points. Right? Let us see. If you are looking for ways to improve your writing skills, there is one surefire way to accomplish this. So this passage is dealing with ways to improve your writing skills. This is the important thing that we could gather, that in the very first paragraph the writer or whoever has written is asking us to know the ways how to improve writing skills. Every time we sit down to write an article, the intention should be to try and keep things short and sweet. So the first thing we get is try to keep things short and sweet. Good articles are short articles that get a point across with the minimal amount of words used. Now when we have said short and sweet, it simply means that we are using minimal amount of words. Clear? So this is the expansion of the same thought which has been specified in the previous line. So this becomes irrelevant now. All too often, however, we find ourselves going off on tangents, thereby increasing the length of the article. So this is the problem, that we do not relate the length of the article. Increasing the length is our problem. Effective writing skills include, now this is important. Before even completing the sentence, we should know rather that this is important. Effective writing skills include the ability to write less and say more, but without repetition. And this skill can be hard to develop. So in this particular paragraph, what exactly we gained is, first important thing that may become our title is ways to improve writing skills. Second important thing that we got is that our main problem is considering and taking care of the length, We need to keep things short and sweet. We need to make minimal amount of words used, and we need to learn the ability to write less and say more without repetition. Clear? In this paragraph, out of these 7 lines, I can gather these 3 main points. How to express them will relate, but we need to first of all read the rest of the passage to actually see how he is developing the idea and continuing it. Let's study further. Here are ways which can make you a better writer. Why say something in 100 words that can be said in just 50? Same point repeated again. Your readers will greatly appreciate this. It is always a good idea when writing to finish your composition and then let it sit for a while. With a little thought and a fresh perspective, you can always edit out words. So, editing the words is important, and for that, we need to give a little thought and a fresh perspective with which we can edit out words, phrases, and even paragraphs that are not needed. Getting your point across using a few words as possible will give those words you do use more impact. Again, the same idea that we need to be short and crispy. Coming to the next paragraph, your ability to stick to the subject and get to the point is something every reader will appreciate. So now this is a new idea. This is a new thing. Ability to stick to the subject. Ability to get to the point. These are the two things which will make you a good writer. A common tendency for most writers is to sometimes deviate from the main point of their articles. So again, this is the example given, and in order to prove he is giving the example, actual main thing is stick to the subject. Get to the point. Fine. In fact, meandering away from your intended subject can irritate readers to the point where they don't even finish reading what you wrote. So deviation, distraction from the subject irritates readers and they will leave. The additional content does not necessarily add any value to the article itself and therefore can and should be left out when possible. For example, in this passage, we are going to leave this because it is possible to leave. Why? The same thought has been repeated throughout this paragraph, and the thought is we should not deviate from the topic. We should stick to the subject, otherwise it is going to irritate the readers, right? And how we are going to do it? We are going to leave the additional content. Simple. Clear? Now next come to the next paragraph. Learn to write so everybody understands you and don't try to impress them with your vocabulary. So important thing is we need to make our readers understand us and we should not try to impress them with our vocabulary. The need for a dictionary is not what your readers are looking for since this takes additional time and is inconvenient. Very rightly said. But this is once again proving the above point only. Always write to and for the general audience. So our writing should be for general audience and never assume that they have an appreciation for a verbose vocabulary. Same point repeated. This only makes their reading all the more difficult and less enjoyable. So we need to be simple and concise. We need to be to the point and we need our readers to understand us. The best way to improve your writing skill is through repetition. Another important point. One of the most effective writing talents a person can develop is the ability to write less and say more. This is particularly true when you write an article, since you want to capture the reader's attention without boring them, as a rule of thumb, good articles are short articles. So again, conveying the same part. Now this is the passage all about. Just try to recall what you studied. This passage is about improving your writing skills, and this is what our heading or title is. Improve your writing skills. Right? Now how can we improve our writing skills? Number one heading is consolidate your thoughts. Consolidate we have abbreviated. How? Use few words, give the topic some thought, edit unwanted words, phrases and even paragraphs. Paragraphs has been abbreviated to paras. Next important thought that he conveyed in the second passage was stick to the subject. Get right to the point. Do not deviate from the main point. Additional content does not necessarily add any value. Deviating from the topic irritates the reader. See, all the things that we actually related while reading, we are putting in our notes. Next thing is write plainly, simple writing, in which make sure writing for the general public, ensure everybody understands you, and use easy vocab. Clear? So this is all the passage was about. Doing these things, one can improve the writing skills. In this, whatever we have circled, these are all the abbreviations used. Now, as a teacher, what I actually want you people is make changes in order to improve. These are the examples which are given to us just to convey an idea how to attempt, but there are no rules as to we need to follow the same exact ways. No. Why I am saying so? Let us see. Consolidate. This is correct abbreviation, because as per my rule that I told you, anything, any word containing more than 7 letters, you need to just make the abbreviation. Right? Paragraphs, I'll find it okay. Subject may be considered. Get right to the point. There was no need to write this. There was no need to abbreviate it. Do not deviate. There was no need. Okay, done. But from the main point, there was no need. Any value, there was no need for it. Necessarily is okay. Additional is okay. Deviating is okay. Right? But I do not want you people to just abbreviate this value or abbreviate this point or abbreviate this right. These three are seemingly, they are done forcibly. Getting my point? So you are forcibly doing it. There was no need for doing it. So this is what you need to relate. And otherwise also I told you that our key should consist of 6 to 10 words, not less than 6, nor more than 10. So we already have got consolidate 1, para is 2, then we have got subject is 3, we have got deviation is 4, necessarily is 5, additional is 6, deviating is 7, then understanding is 8, vocabulary is 9, more than sufficient. Why are we making 13 or 14 abbreviations? No requirement. So here he is writing 8, but he has used more than that. Consolidate, paragraphs, write, point, subject, value, additional vocabulary. He has not actually given this necessarily in the key, which is wrong. Obviously you have to do. Deviating he has not given, which is wrong. You have to write because you are using abbreviation above. Understands he is abbreviating, but he is not giving it in the key. So if we are looking here 8 abbreviations, it is much more than 8. You need to stick to 8 only. Okay. So this is exactly type 3 questions that you will get in the exams, in which We are asked first of all to give the title which we have given. Secondly, he asked for the notes we have given. We have made sure that we have actually used the right format, Roman numerals 1, 2, 3. Then the sub points, giving the indenting part, giving proper spacing. Then we used abbreviations also. And for the proper explanation of the abbreviations, we have given the key. Now, very important part is we are required to write the summary as well. So let us write the summary now. While writing summary, I hope you all remember what all was required. No abbreviations, no phrases, complete sentences, and we do not have to leave any point which was there in the notes. We can't, we must not leave any point. Let us see how we are writing the summary. If you are looking for ways to improve your writing skills, then there are a few things you must keep in mind. The first step is stick to the subject. Do not divert from the topic. Getting your point across using as few words as possible will give those words you do more impact. Additional content does not necessarily add value to the article and may irritate the readers. Remember to write for the general public. Use easy vocabulary to ensure that everybody understands you. And the final step of writing your article is to let it sit for a while. Now, this is the point which we have added from the passage. We have not written this exact line from the notes. We have not used it in notes. Give it a little thought and edit out words, phrases, and even paragraphs that aren't needed. Now, one more important thing that you need to relate in this summary is that we have made the notes according to the passage, right? But we are not going to write the summary in the same sequence, because summary is the actual shortened version of the crux of the passage. Let me explain. In this particular note, we have seen that give the topic some thought, edit unwanted words and phrases, and even paragraphs. This is under the first heading. Use few words word along with it, right? But while we were writing the summary, we have used this give it a little thought and edit your words, phrases, and even paragraphs that are needed. We have not actually written it above with the first point. Few words as possible. As per the notes, this using few words and this deleting the paragraph or the words and phrases, they were together, but necessarily not in the summary. In the summary, we can use our own creativity. We have to express the actual idea, but as per our way. It should not be as per what the passage was. It should not be in that sequence. Getting my point, which I am trying to explain? This is very important to understand. And this is what makes a good summary. So these are the three types of questions that normally come in examination. The first type was quite simple, in which a short passage was given to us and we were just required to make the notes giving the key. No summary was asked. The second type was quite different in that the notes were already given to us, the key was given to us, and we were just simply required to ask to write the summary in our own words. Clear? And the third type is the actual full-fledged question in which a long passage or paragraph or any textual thing is given to us. We will be asked to make notes of it. We will be asked to use the abbreviations to give the heading or the title, and obviously to write the key of the abbreviations, and importantly, we have to write the summary also. Clear? So these are the three types we'll be getting. I'm ending up this topic and this class here only. I want you people to go through all this, whatever we have studied and read in today's class, right? And I will take one more class in which I will be taking a few more passages for note making for better understanding, in which gaining knowledge and experience from the today's class, you will be able to relate better. I can take all the passages, 2, 3, 4 more examples in today's class itself only, but it won't have that much impact on you, which I actually want. So if you have gone through, if you already know and have the basic idea how abbreviations are made, if you use your own brain, you will find that there are so many times that you will be going away from what is given in the book, because note making, creativity, representation, expression, it's all personal choice. The format needs to be followed, but how you are writing the summary, how and which words you are abbreviating, that is altogether your choice. And this is what makes the difference between two individuals. Every individual has a different line of thought. Clear? So go through these and then we'll take a few more examples of note making in the next lecture in order to have much better actual understanding of how you are going to write notes, write the abbreviations, write the summary in the prescribed word limit, of course. Got it? So this is all about today's class. I hope that whatever is being taught, you were able to relate, you were able to understand, and everything is crystal clear. And in the next session, we'll take a few more examples of note making. Till then, take care of yourself, remain happy, remain healthy. We'll meet soon. Have a great day ahead.